Welcome to another episode of Parenthood Lifestyle with Dunia Tozy I, and today I'm joined by the lovely Jami Savage, who's a family travel writer and the owner of her own digital media agency. Welcome, Jami.
Thanks you so much for having me here.
Thanks so much for coming. So, Jami, how did you get into family travel writing and how did you start?
That's an interesting question, and I get asked that a lot. And basically, I started off with what my dream job would be. And so I was like, I want to travel. I want to take my kids with me. I want to inspire others to travel. So then I researched what that looked like, and essentially it was a family travel writer. And then I was like, okay, well, how do I do that? And so I reverse engineered it. So I learned that it was like through a family travel blog would be the best way to do it. Then I started taking travel writing courses, and I started learning about social media, started my own agency, and started putting all the pieces together. And then I had the dream of this is where I wanted to go, and then slowly started piecing it together.
Oh my gosh. So how often do you get to do that? How often do you guys get to travel?
So, I mean, I think one of the biggest things with travel is people think that you have to live a travel lifestyle, like you have to be gone all the time in order to live it. But we live in one of the most amazing places in the world.
That's so true.
People from all around the world come here, and so half, if not 75% of my job is just teaching us locals how to explore our own backyard. And so I'm really passionate about that, getting kids outside more, hiking, biking, being at the ocean, and a lot of those adventures are free. So that's the first thing. Yes, we do get to travel a lot. We do get to travel to really cool places and do real cool things, but that's probably only, anywhere between 6 and 12 weeks a year.
Right.
All the rest of the time we're spending at home and we're showing other people how to travel. So.
And you have two lovely kids, a boy and a girl. How are they into travel as well?
Yeah, they definitely are. I mean, they've been raised that way, so they don't know any other way. I think I was, they were 3 and 5 when I started.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So they definitely are into it, and they've, built a lot of skills. They're more adaptable, flexible. They're really good at getting outside their comfort zone, understanding deadlines and being self-sufficient. They have to carry all their own gear. So they're definitely little travelers, and they definitely get excited about our adventures as well, yeah.
And you got your husband to be an outdoorsy man as well, right?
Kind of. He's doing really, really well. When we first started out camping and everything, it just wasn't his thing.
Yeah.
And so, but once he kind of got a real taste of what it's all about, he definitely found his niche and he loves it. And he's outside even, sometimes more than I am. And the kind of neat thing with him, or the kind of where we found our sweet spot, was that he likes to kind of glamp, right? So he likes to have a shower.
I love glamping too.
Right? And I get that. And with a young family, it's really nice to have the kitchen, to be able to throw them in the bath at the end of the day, that type of thing. So I make sure that, we do some more roughing it, we do some glamping stuff, and then we do some luxury stuff. It kind of keeps everybody happy.
So what are some of the places you guys have visited, and what's the most memorable one?
Okay. We've been very fortunate. We've traveled extensively throughout BC and Alberta. We've been welcomed by other tourism destinations, like we've gone to Kauai, which was really exciting. But in terms of memorable, one of our life memories will be where we spent Canada's 150th.
Oh, nice.
And so we actually spent it on the East Coast. So we partnered with Parks Canada, and we were able to do a 16-day road trip all through Newfoundland, PEI, and Nova Scotia.
Wow.
And then on Canada Day, we actually were in Nova Scotia at the Fortress of Louisbourg, and I actually got to light off a cannon on Canada Day.
Oh my gosh.
And my kids got to be all a part of the celebrations. My husband got to fire off muskets, and then we spent the night in an 18th century beggar-style dinner where we were dressed up as beggars, and we got to have lobster and crab, and we got to dance all night, and it was a memory that none of us will ever forget, and a pretty cool way to celebrate our Canadiana.
Oh, that's very cool.
Yeah.
How do your kids like it?
They do. They absolutely love it. They're really good at road trips. They're good at getting out there. There is times where I have to remind them to be grateful for all the opportunities that we get. Obviously, we live in a society where consumption is rampant, and taking time to check in and just be grateful for our health, for the wealth of opportunities that are provided to us, and the environment that we're taking place, and how do we protect those things. Those are conversations that happen a lot in our house, sometimes more than we'd like. But they definitely are grateful, and they're proud of what we've created and that they're a part of that.
So how do you balance this whole thing of family travel writing and doing the mummy thing, and you have a digital media agency as well?
Yeah, I'm busy. Yeah, it's exhausting, but it's also, you're starting a business, and I started 2 businesses at the same time that now have kind of grown into one. And there's a couple things that kind of keep me balanced. One, exercise, so I'm definitely trying to make sure I'm staying on top of that. I have a lot of support, whether that's my mom or my mother-in-law or my husband stepping up to help me. I've got a team that works with me, and if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be able to do everything that I do. There's lots of days where I run around with my head cut off and I feel like I'm not accomplishing anything. But I think I just keep hustling. I just keep trying. I just keep working. And when I'm utterly exhausted, then I take a big nap and I fall asleep and, power out for the day and then start again. So I think there's no magical thing. We're all burnt out. We're all working hard. But
boss mommy's life, eh?
It is boss mom's life, exactly.
And so speaking of the digital media agency, tell us a little bit about that. What does it entail?
So kind of how I explain it to people is that I help other businesses grow their online presence. So I help them grow their businesses through being online. And whether that's building a website for them or their Google business page or, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn. So I work with businesses to identify where their customers are and then help them make sure that they can reach out and target those customers and hopefully, get clients.
So when did you start with that? And
same when I started my blog. Yep. So it was all part of that reverse engineer dream. I'm like, I want to be able to help other businesses grow, and then I want to be able to travel, and then it all kind of started to come together. So then I went and got my social media director certificate, my SEO director certificate. I got a bunch of other certificates in there, and then started working really small with just some really small businesses as their kind of marketing coordinator, and then it kind of grew and grew and grew and grew. So yeah.
And it became where it is today.
It is. Yeah, it came where it is today. Yeah.
So on your website, you have a big bucket list, which I noticed. So what are some of the things that you'd love to do in the future?
It's so funny because when I first started my blog, I thought once I get everything off my bucket list, life will be good.
Yeah.
And the more I travel, the more I found out about all these amazing, unique places that I've never heard about. And my bucket list just keeps growing and growing and growing. So I guess a successful life would be a bucket list that's never complete.
That's
ultimately.
So true. I love that.
And if there's one of them is on there, I want to do 100 push-ups. Well, I don't know if I'll ever get there because that's really hard. No, I meant 10.
But never say never.
Never say never. I'm still trying. And a lot of the bucket list items are kind of coming off, one at a time. So, yeah.
So for those parents who want to do what you're doing in terms of traveling with their kids, what are some of the things that they should do?
Yeah.
What do you recommend?
Great question. Yeah, you start small. Number one, start small. You don't have to plan an elaborate across Canada camping trip where you're, that's just crazy. So start small. Start in your own backyard. There's a lot of places you can go locally. Start with day trips. Set realistic expectations for your children. So if you've got a 1 and a 5-year-old, you're not looking to do a 10-day backpacking trip. You're looking to do a 1-day trip, and you're going to, slowly incentivize them and encourage them and teach them how they can be a part of it. So does that mean that your 18-month-old is carrying his own backpack? Absolutely. It's a little backpack and maybe it only has the snacks in it or something like that, but have them start to be a part of the process. My second tip would be to get your kids involved in the planning. Have them create their own summer bucket list. And if they say they want to have a picnic, well, where do you want to have a picnic? Okay, well, how do we do some research? How do we choose that destination? And the more that they're involved in the process, the more that they're going to want to go and be a part of the planning and also some of the skills, right? So they pick X park in North Vancouver. Well, that's an hour drive. Okay, so we're going to need some snacks for the car. So start local, start small, and as you build out those skills, then you can take them on bigger and more elaborate trips, and that also gives you some time to save money and do some research and figure out where you want to go with your family.
Oh, these are great tips. Thank you so much, Jami, for joining me here today, and good luck with your future adventures. I can't wait to read more. And if you'd like to read more, you can go to her blog. It's
www.adventureawaits.ca.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Jami. And thank you everyone for watching. Don't forget to subscribe down here and also check us on social media at Parenthood Lifestyle. See you later.